presence. iRadio footprint extends to the states of Western and Northern Bahr el Ghazal, Western and Central Equatorial.
Live from Juba, on air and online.
This is iRadio News.
Hello, good morning. This is iRadio News. First, here are the headlines. President Salva Kiir has appointed former Western Bahr el Ghazal's governor Sarah Cletter as the new National Minister of Health, replacing her predecessor Yolanda Well in a Republican decree on Tuesday. Authorities in Western Equatorial State have arrested 2 members of the South Sudan People's Defense Forces for allegedly assaulting a female staff member of the United Nations mission in South Sudan on Monday. An aid group, the International Rescue Committee, has warned war-torn Sudan is now on the brink of a public health disaster as cholera and other deadly diseases spread. There's stories and more coming to you in this news bulletin with me, Lasuba Memo, and now the news in detail. President Salva Kiir has appointed Sarah Cletter, the former governor of Western Bahr el Ghazal, as the new National Minister of Health, replacing Yolanda Well, according to a Republican decree issued on Tuesday. Cletter was initially relieved of her duties as governor of Western Bahr el Ghazal State in November 2024. Her predecessor, Yolanda Well, was removed from the health minister position on February 10, 2025. Both Cletter and Well are members of the SPLM-IO, whose dismissals earlier sparked criticism and condemnation from the party, which described the actions as violations of the peace agreement. Awel's removal came amid a prolonged cholera outbreak affecting the country. The ministerial position had remained vacant for more than 3 months, prompting activists, the Association of Medical Doctors in South Sudan, and Vice President Josephine Lagu, who also serves as chairperson of the service cluster, to call for the appointment of a new minister to address the ongoing health crisis in the country. A senior health official has issued a stark warning about the ongoing cholera outbreak in South Sudan, urging increased investment in health and a shift away from donor dependency. Dr. Kadiente Chong Mapur, the Director General of the Preventive Health Services and Emergency Response at the Ministry of Health, says the country is currently battling a severe cholera epidemic that has affected over 66,000 people across various regions. Despite the high recovery rate, Dr. Mapur confirmed that 1,250 people have died from the disease. He said, and I quote, "But still we have lost very valuable lives. 1,250 lives have been lost. They will never be recovered. They will never come back." He attributed the outbreak to poor access to clean drinking water, inadequate sanitation, and low hygiene standards. Dr. Chong also acknowledged the contributions made by private health actors, including institutions such as the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and called for stronger partnerships. However, the health official criticized the current reliance on donor funding, saying it undermines national dignity. He likened proposal writing and compliance with donor requirements to a dehumanizing process that often lacks balance or fairness. Dr. Chong called for a national awakening to take full responsibility for the health sector, just as the country once rose to fight for independence. Authorities in Western Equatorial State have arrested 2 members of the South Sudan People's Defense Forces for allegedly assaulting a female staff member of the United Nations mission in South Sudan on Monday. In a statement dated 17th, Western Equatorial State Acting Governor James Severino Morris confirmed that the assault occurred in Yambio Town. He described the attack as a blatant violation of human rights and a breach of international cooperation, as well as a violation of the Status of Forces Agreement between the government of South Sudan and the United Nations. According to Governor Severino, the 2 SSPDF soldiers involved, whose names have not been disclosed, have been arrested and are currently held in SSPDF custody. Mr. Severino expressed the state government's regret and extended apologies to the victim, her family, and the United Nations mission in South Sudan. An investigation is underway to ensure justice for the assaulted victim. Governor Severino warned that disciplinary measures will be taken against the suspects in accordance with the Military Code of Conduct and the applicable laws of South Sudan. The acting governor also called on SSPDF leadership at both the state and national levels to collaborate closely with the civilian authorities to prevent such incidents from recurring. This is Radio Morning News, and now to the international scene. Aid Group, the International Rescue Committee, has warned war-torn Sudan is now on the brink of a public health disaster as cholera and other deadly diseases spread. In just 1 week, Sudan's health ministry recorded that 172 people have died due to a cholera outbreak, posting on Facebook that most of the new cases are in Khartoum state. According to local doctors, cited by Sudanese media, drone attacks have caused power outages at water purification stations, which have left people with no choice but to use unclean water. IRC Country Director for Sudan, Estazas Yusuf, said the civil war now in its third year is fueling the resurgence of cholera. And a diplomatic cable seen by CNN indicates that the U.S. State Department has instructed U.S. embassies and consulates around the world to pause new student visa appointments as it moves to expand social media screening and vetting to all student visa applicants. It is the latest move from the Trump administration that could deter international students from studying at universities in the United States. The cable, issued on Tuesday morning and signed by Secretary of State Marco Rubio, comes as the Trump administration has revoked scores of student visas and has attempted to stop foreign students from studying at Harvard University, a move that has been halted by a judge for a time being. A spokesperson said the State Department has required visa applicants to provide social media identifiers on immigrant and non-immigrant visa application forms since 2019. In addition, it had already called for extra social media vetting of some applicants, largely related to alleged anti-Semitism. It's unclear what the expanded social media vetting would entail. This is Radio Morning News, and to end this bulletin, here's a recap of the headlines.
We want peace in South Sudan, but this peace have become a dream to many of us. When we close our eyes and open them, it's gone. Uncertainty.
President Salva Kiir has appointed former Western Bar El Ghazal's governor Sarah Cletcher as the new national minister of health, replacing her predecessor Yolanda Well in a Republican decree on Tuesday. Authorities in Western Equatoria State have arrested 2 members of the South Sudan People's Defense Forces for allegedly assaulting a female staff member of the United Nations mission in South Sudan on Monday. An aid group, the International Rescue Committee, has warned war-torn Sudan is now on the brink of a public health disaster as cholera and other deadly diseases spread. That's the end of our Radio Morning News. If there is a story or an event you'd like our radio to cover or report about, please send us a text message at +211 925 287 It's also a WhatsApp number. Follow us on X at iRadio Juba, like our Facebook page iRadio, subscribe to our YouTube channel at iRadio South Sudan. You can also visit our website and listen to us online at www.iradio.org. Stay tuned for news in Arabic at 8 o'clock. I'm Lasuba Memo. Thanks for listening.